Sup, y'all? That's really cheesy how I do the whole sup, y'all. Welcome to the show. Anyway, I got another haul to share with you guys. Haul slash discussion. I have a topic that I wanted to bring up for discussion. First, let me show you some recent hauls. First up from Ross. This is the Imaginext Catwoman and Cycle Streets of Gotham City series. This is actually for my daughter. This is something kind of cool that I can kind of collect for my daughter. She's only two years and 4 months, but she actually loves these little Imaginext DC figures. She's got a couple. She's got a Joker and Harley and Batgirl and a Batman. So Catwoman makes a great addition to our little collection. That's at Ross for $5.99. Anyway, moving on. These next three figures I got off of Amazon. DC, they're all DC Multiverse. Zoom from the Flash TV show. That's a really cool figure. This series, it's the King Shark Collect and Connect series. It's out at retail, but it's still fairly hard to find. And I know Zoom, I think, is one of the harder figures to find. I was able to get this at retail, Prime Ship, $19.99 on Amazon. That's a really cool figure. Check that out. And then, also from the King Shark wave, Batgirl of Burnside. That's really cool. This is one of those figures. Well, this whole wave actually, especially for the King Shark, dude looks badass. But pretty much every figure I've been super excited for. So let me show you the last one that I got here. Dark Knight Returns Joker. This one, I love it. You know, I love all the Dark Knight Returns figures that they've done in DC Multiverse. But anyway, as I was saying, I was pretty much excited for all these, and I now just need, well, I still need three more. I've got three: Zoom, Batgirl, and Joker. So I still need Flash, the Jim Gordon Batman, and Hawkman. So pretty cool, really cool figure. And then, also at Ross, I scored another Nick Fury, which, why another, if you're not familiar, there's a little, there's a helmeted head right there that, for me, I'm using them as, you know, like a shield agent slash trooper. So I've been wanting to army build these guys ever since, well, since I got back into Marvel Legends, I've wanted to army build them. But how awesome that they're at Ross for freaking $6.99. If you haven't been following, you missed my videos talking about the series showing up at Ross for $6.99. Yeah, so they had pretty much the whole series. I think this is the fourth Nick Fury that I found. And then shout out to Bad Karma 103, because he picked one up for me. Haven't got from him yet, but that'll be a fifth. I'd like to get a sixth. I think I'll be done army building them after a sixth. So moving on, I'm trying to speed this up and not make this as long as other recent haul slash vlog slash discussions. But anyway, so this is something I got off of eBay. This is pretty cool. So if you've been following me, you know that I've, well, I don't want to say recently anymore, but I don't know, a few months back, have gotten back into Marvel 6-inch Marvel Legends after being on hiatus from collecting Marvel Legends and other 6-inch figures for like a couple years. You know, after getting married and especially having my daughter. You know, Marvel Legends and other 6-inch was one of the things. I didn't stop collecting entirely, but that was that was one of the things that I totally just kind of stopped collecting. Anyway, having gotten back into the scale and just totally going nuts and you know, just yeah, just going nuts and collecting these like crazy and obsessed. So I've been totally getting as many current Marvel Legends and backtracking on a few that I can. Largely on Amazon for less than retail price, but you know, there's a few that I paid retail price, and then there's actually been a couple that I paid over retail for. Anyway, one of the things that I haven't really done, but I've considered doing, excuse me, is backtracking on some older Toy Biz Marvel Legends. And what I have here is the first figure that I've done that with. I decided I typically like to get stuff sealed, but you know, sometimes, especially for older figures, I'm like, you know what, it's cool. I'll go ahead and get a loose one. You know, as long as it's in you know, like new condition. So anyway, Deathlock. This figure has kind of, I won't say entirely changed my mind on backtracking on Toy Biz Marvel Legends, and I mean that in a good way. It's kind of solidified a decision to backtrack on some older ones. The weird thing is, I don't know if I mentioned this in my recent videos, I used to collect the original Toy Biz Marvel Legends. I collected them before it was Marvel Legend. It was like Spider-Man Classics. And I think there might have been another series before they actually changed it to Marvel Legends. And then when it was Marvel Legends, the original Toy Biz Marvel Legends was as early to mid 2000s. I collected it, you know, from the start. I don't know how many series, you know, I actively collected, but I collected them. And then somewhere down the line, I let go of all those. I even collected, again, I don't know if I mentioned this in my recent videos, talking about, you know, how much I'm on this crazy Marvel Legends kick. I actually collected the first Hasbro Marvel Legends, and then some throughout. But anyway, again, going back to, you know, just quitting collecting and stuff, and a lot of that involved thinning my collections. So I got rid of, you know, pretty much all my older Toy Biz, and that actually goes back to the 90s stuff. So that, there you go. Even way before Marvel Legends or even Spider-Man Classics, I collected that 90s Marvel stuff, and even the DC stuff before that. Anyway, going back to this guy, is a little loose, and just in the torso joint, I think everything else is nice and tight, super tight actually. So going back to this guy. Oh, you know what? Before I continue, I don't know the seller's name off the top of my head. It's not on the envelope. It's got his real name. I don't know his eBay name on here. Anyway, really cool seller. This guy sells not only Marvel Legends but other loose figures with a bunch of extras, stuff that's like relevant to the character. So there's this trading card. There's part of the card back that basically has the bio for Deathlock. And even 2 comics. How cool is that? Number 12 and number 23. That is really cool. I might actually have these comics in my old collection of comics from the 90s, but you know, still to get them, you know, my comic collection isn't exactly easily accessible, so it's kind of cool to get these. I'm going to totally give these a read. So kudos to that seller. But yeah, so anyway, getting back to this figure, as well as, no, I'll leave the discussion in a second. Point being, and here I go rambling and time's ticking. Anyway, and you know, this is the front-facing camera, so I don't think you're getting, you know, a really focused look. So you're not really seeing the detail on this guy, but some of you might be familiar with these. Anyway, some awesome detail. I remember when Marvel Legends was switching to Hasbro, that was one of the issues. It's like, okay, proportion wise, you know, they look better, and you know, especially to this day. Um, but the details to this day, Hasbro just does not match the. I gotta stop putting my finger in the crotch right there. Hasbro does not match the detail of the Toy Biz ones, both the sculpted, but especially the painted detail. And again, unfortunately, it was the front-facing camera. You're not gonna get a focused look, but some awesome detail in the face, especially. So yeah. Anyway, there I go rambling. Holy crap. Anyway, point being, yeah, I want to get some more older Toy Biz Marvel Legends. I know it's, you know, they're a bit pricey, but there's going to be a few that, you know, that haven't been made by Hasbro yet, like this guy. And I think Hasbro does have a Deathlok coming up, but still, I don't regret purchasing this guy. And it was cheap. It was like I think total with shipping and all those extras was like just about $10. So, you know, not bad at all. So anyway, okay. Now I want to get into my topic of discussion. If you guys are still with me this far. I actually had another topic that I originally wanted to talk about, but after checking this guy out, it brought me to something else. So I'll save the other topic for later on. So, for you guys who are action figure collectors, are you guys action figures? That's pretty cool if you're an action figure and you're watching this. But anyway, those of you who are action figure collectors, especially if you know you're into the superhero stuff, you know, 6-inch, regardless of scale. Because you know, there's whether you're a Marvel or DC fan, aside from Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse, there's other options. There's like the DC collectible stuff or Marvel Select. Anyway, the topic: how important is articulation to you? So I'll try to answer the question myself, because over the years of action figure collecting, I've gone back and forth with being an articulation Nazi. Sorry to use the word, but it applies here. Now, most recently, I would say that I kind of kicked being an articulation Nazi as kind of just shortly before I got really obsessed and addicted to collecting Marvel Legends again. I was kind of like, you know what? I don't even care about articulation. I want figures that look better. I don't care if they have less articulation or matter of fact, like display pieces, statues, stuff like that. I wanted to get into stuff like that. Anyway, but like a lot of figure collectors, for the most part, and for a longer period of time, you know, I've wanted articulation, super articulation, like the kind of super articulation you get with Marvel Legends, you know, and I know it sacrifices some of the aesthetic of a figure, because when I was recently like, you know what, screw articulation, I want figures that look better, because it's like all this articulation it can be unsightly. But at the same time, holy crap, especially messing with Marvel Legends and the crazy, you know, pose, or, you know, you can do some great posing with Marvel Legends. They're super articulated. But, you know, I've expanded into, like, trying the Revoltech stuff. Oh, now that is some crazy articulation. So anyway, I would say right now, I can appreciate figures that are less articulated if they look great as a display piece, or non-articulated stuff like little figurines and stuff that really are just kind of like statues or display pieces. But when it comes to stuff like this, yeah, I like that super articulation, because you can do some great stuff. You know, pose wise, you know, right now he's straight up vanilla, but you know, you can do some great stuff with all that super articulation. So you know, just throwing it out there. If you guys wanna, you can reply in the comments. You know, feel free. How important is articulation to you? I think I answered it, right? So yeah, let's see. You know, just kind of do something real quick right here that you could only do with all that articulation. Now, it's not like the coolest pose you can put a guy in, but that's the kind of stuff you can do with that kind of articulation. So anyway, before I wrap this up, and again, if you've watched this long, at least I'm keeping it under 20 minutes this time. I appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys sticking with me. It's why I keep doing this, sharing with you guys. So, but I also at the same time I apologize for for those of you who enjoy these kinds of videos, and I still I don't have time to do it as much as I'd like to. So mostly I just throw up haul vids because those are really easy to do, or once in a while I'll throw out those store vids and stuff like that, which are usually gonna be really short clips. Anyway, I want to ask you guys another thing. This isn't really part of the topic, but I'm asking you guys anyway. What else would you like to see me do? If you follow me, then within the things that I do, like, is there any kinds of videos that I've done in the past that you'd like to see again or more of? Or more specifically, would you guys be interested in me doing review videos? That's one of those things where it's like, if ever I do reviews again, it's not gonna be like I have in the past, where I do the whole white background and I approach it all kind of like, I don't want to use the word professionally, but if I do reviews again, it's gonna be a lot more casual. But is that something you guys would be interested in? Because, as you've seen from the hauls, I'm getting, let's face it, I'm getting tons of figures. Mostly Marvel Legends, some DC Multiverse, some Revoltex, some Mafex, and some other stuff. But, I'm just getting so much stuff that it's like, do I review any of these? Do you guys want to see reviews? Do you guys want to see reviews of all of these figures? So anyway, I want to try to keep this under 20 minutes. There you have it. Feel free. I appreciate you're watching this long, and if you take the time to comment and stuff like that, and answer the questions. So anyway, there you have it. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.